And well, hello there, welcome back my fellow pixelators, it's over Lucky HD here, and today we are continuing our Luffy Wano series, and today we are going to be doing part 8. Now, we are going to be completing all the rest of the outline today, as last video was a bit short. That was due to me having my second COVID vaccine, so I was a bit under the weather, so I didn't keep it that long. But now I'm back and fully energized, apart from I have to record about 9 different recording for videos in these next 2 days so I can get some footage when I'm on holiday. But without being said, let's get into this tutorial. So today we are going to be using black concrete and gold block again, and we are going to be moving over to the area that I said we're going to leave off over here. So we're going to be completing the arm first, and then we'll come back to the scar, and the scar will probably be the last thing to do. So we're going to be flying over to the one that's sticking out to the left first, over here. I will place a gold block, just in case anyone didn't get that. We are going off the area where we did leave off last time. And we're going to that one sticking to the left. So let's fly back in towards here. Once we have flown back in towards here, we are going to start by placing one to the left, just like so. Then from here, we are going to do 2 up left diagonals. So 1 and 2. From the second one here, we're going to place 1 to the left, just like so. Then do another up left diagonal, and place 4 going to the left. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we should be looking like that there. Then do a bottom left diagonal from here. From this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 4 to the left. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we go. Then do another bottom left diagonal. And place 2 going to the left. 1 and 2. Then I'm going to do another bottom left diagonal from here. And place another 2 to the left. So 1 and 2. There you go, there's that part there done as well. Then do another bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 1 going to the left, just like so. We're then going to do another bottom left diagonal from here. And place 2 going to the left. So 1, 2. And then we're going to repeat this 3 here 3 more times in a bottom left diagonal direction. So do a bottom left diagonal. And place 2 to the left. 1, 2. That's 1. And that's 2. And that's 3. So that should be 4 of these 3s in total. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And as you can see, we've got 4 of them going in a bottom left diagonal direction. Once we have done 4 of these in total, we're going to fly back towards the end one. So back towards this end one here. And from this end one, we're just going to place 2 on top. So 1, 2. Then I'm going to do a upright diagonal and place 1 on top. And there we go. Once we've done that, we're going to zoom out. And we're going to fly to the corner of the 3. So in this corner on the bottom of every line, in this corner right here. So I'll place a gold block. We're going off the very corner here in the left corner. And once we're ready to go off this corner, we're going to do a bottom left diagonal from here. So we should be looking like that basically. We're then going to fly back towards here. And from here, we're going to place 4 going to the left. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then I'm going to do a bottom left diagonal from here. From this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 2 to the left. So 1 and 2. Then I'm going to place 1 on top. And then we're going to fly back down by 1, so back down to this line here. And we're going to do a bottom left diagonal from here. From this bottom left diagonal here, we're going to place 1 to the left. And then we're going to do a bottom left diagonal again, just like so. And from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 4 going to the left. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're then going to do a up left diagonal from here. Now we're just going to zoom out quickly and have a look over what we've done so far. So this is what we should have done so far. So this little area here is part of the scar. And then that one sticking up there in the middle, that is the start or end of the scar going over to that side over there. And this little part here, we're now going to be moving on to the fist. But before we move on to the fist, we are going to complete the rest of the arm first. So we want to move back down to this big line of 5 going across in total here. So from where we did this up left diagonal, we want to fly back down to this line here. And instead this time we're going to do a bottom left diagonal from here. So we should be looking like that basically. Once we had done that though, we're going to fly back down to the bottom left diagonal that we did. Once we have flowed back down to this bottom left diagonal, we're going to do another bottom left diagonal from here. We're then going to place 2 to the left, so 1 and 2. We're then going to do another bottom left diagonal from here and place another 2 to the left. So 1 and 2. We're then going to place one on top of the end one, just like so. And then we're going to fly back down by 1, so back down to this bottom left corner here. And we're going to do a bottom left diagonal from here, just like so. We're then going to place 2 to the left, so 1, 2. We're then going to do another bottom left diagonal from here. From this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 3 going to the left. So 1, 2, and 3. We're then going to do another bottom left diagonal from here. And place 1 going to the left. From this one that we placed to the left, we're going to do a left diagonal. We're then going to fly back down to this 2, so back down by 1, so back down to where we just did the up left diagonal from, so back to here. And we're going to do a bottom left diagonal from here. So we should be looking like that. We're then going to place 2 to the left of the bottom left diagonal, so 1 and 2, just like so. And then we're going to do 2 bottom left diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. From this second one, we're going to place 2 to the left, so 1, 2. And then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal from here. We're then going to place 1 to the left. And then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal and place another 1 to the left, just like so. We're then going to do another bottom left diagonal from here. This time, we're going to place 1 to the left, then place 1 underneath. Then fly back up by 1, so back onto this line here, and place 2 going to the left, so 1, 2. And then we're going to fly back to the one that we placed underneath, so back to here. And once we've flown back to here, we're going to do 5 bottom left diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. From this fifth one, we're going to place 1 going to the left, just like so. We're then going to do a up left diagonal from here. We're then going to fly down by 1, so back from where we did this up left diagonal from, so back to this line here. And we want to do a bottom left diagonal from here. From this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 1 underneath, just like so. We're then going to do 2 bottom left diagonals from here, so 1 and 2. We're then going to place 1 underneath the second one, just like so. And then do another bottom left diagonal and place 2 underneath, so 1 and 2. And now we're just going to zoom out quickly. So this is what we've done so far, and that's the end of there. And now before we move on to the next areas, we are going to take our gold block again, and we are going to fly to the bottom of this 3 here. So we're going to fly to the bottom. And once we've flown to the bottom here, we're going to count 15 going to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And as you can see, this 15 to the left connects to the bottom of this 5 in total, just like so. So not the very bottom one, the second bottom one, or the second top one, you could say instead, going up, just like so. So it's connected to this one, just like so, and we have gone 15 to the left. And what does that mean? That just means we've basically done all of this area correctly here, just like so. So once we have done this, we are going to destroy our gold blocks on this left hand side. And we're then going to fly back to it, but we're going to go off to the right here first, so we can finish a couple of the areas in here. And then from this black concrete at the bottom here, we're going to count 13 going to the right from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Then I'm going to take our black concrete and place 1 to the right, just like so. And then we're going to place 1 on top. Then once we've flown back to this 3 here, we're going to take our gold block. And we're going to count 13 going to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Then take our black concrete and place 1 to the right, just like so. We're then going to place 1 on top, and then we're going to fly underneath and place 2 underneath. So 1 and 2. We're then going to place 2 to the right, so 1, 2. And then we're going to do an upright diagonal from here, and from this upright diagonal, we're going to place 2 going to the right, so 1 and 2. We're then going to do another upright diagonal from here, and this time we're going to place one to the right. We're then going to do another upright diagonal and place another one to the right, just like so. Then do another 2 upright diagonals from here, so 1 and 2. From the second one, we're going to place one to the right, just like so. And then we're going to do 5 upright diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And there we go. That's a little bit there done as well. And now there's one more little thing in this area we got to do as well, which is we need to complete the very last line for the shoulder coming down. So first of all, we're going to destroy these gold blocks. So destroy these. And once we destroyed those, we're going to fly to the next area. So where we're going to be flying to next, we are going to be flying to the very up left diagonal first one though, over here. So, place a gold block, we're going to be going off this one right here. As you can see, it's the end one that we placed, just going up, just like so. So we're going to fly back in. And once we're flying back in, we're going to place one on top, just like so. And then once we have placed one on top, we're going to repeat this to here 5 more times in a up left diagonal direction. So, do an up left diagonal and place one on top. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. And then there we go. That should be 6 up left diagonals of those 2s going up in total. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. As you can see, we've got 6 in total. So, fly back up to the end of one. Once we are flying back up to this end one here, do a up left diagonal, just like so. We're then going to place 4 on top. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then once we place 4 on top, we're going to place 1 to the left, and fly back into the right, so back to here, and do 2 upright diagonals from here. So 1, and 2. And then there we go. Once we've done 2 upright diagonals, we're going to fly back to the one that we placed to the left over here. So fly back to here. Once we've flown back to this one that we placed to the left, we're going to place 3 going up from here. So 1, 2, and 3. We're then going to place 1 to the right, just like so, and do 2 upright diagonals. So 1 and 2. And then once we've done that, we're going to fly back to the end. So back to this line that we just went up by 3. So this line right here. And once we've flown back to this line here, we're going to place 4 going up from here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're then going to place 1 to the right and fly back into the left by 1. So back to this line here. Then place 1 on top. And there we go. That's a little bit there done. So we can zoom out and have a look at what we've done so far in this build. And there we go. That's everything we've done today so far. As you can see, we have completed the last arm, but we didn't actually complete the final arm here because we actually have the fist to do. This one obviously doesn't have the fist because it's blocked by that arm. Now once we've fully done the arm, we're going to be moving on to doing the fist. So we want to be going over to this up left diagonal here. So this very first up left diagonal that we did, from this 5 going along to the right of it, just like so. So I'll place a gold block just so you can see where we're going off. We are going to be going off this area right here, over here. So as you can see, we're going to be going off there. So I'm going to fly back in towards here. Once we're flying back in towards here, you're ready to go. We are going to place 1 on top of this up left diagonal that we did here. So place 1 on top, just like so. Then from this 1 on top, we're going to do 10 up left diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now once you've done 10 of these, we're going to place 1 on top of the 10th one, just like so. So it should just look like 9 up left diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. As you can see, it looks like 9, and then just like a 2 at the end. Once we have done this though, we are going to do 2 up left diagonals from this 2 here. So 1 and 2. From the second one here, we're going to place 1 going to the left, just like so. We're then going to place 1 underneath, then fly back up by 1 and place 1 to the left for now. Then fly back to this one that we placed underneath. So back to this one that we placed underneath, into a bottom left diagonal from here, and then we're done there. So we're going to fly back up to the one that we placed to the left. Once we've flown back up to this one that we placed to the left, we're going to place another 2 going to the left. So 1 and 2. We're then going to place 1 on top. We're going to fly down by 1 and place 1 to the left, just like so. We're then going to fly back to the one that we placed on top, so we're going to go off this one first, and then we'll go to the left one later to complete the fist later on. So flying back into this one that we placed on top here, we're going to place another 3 going on top from here. So 1, 2, and 3. We're then going to do an up left diagonal from here. From this up left diagonal, we're going to place 1 on top, just like so. We're then going to repeat this 2 here 2 more times in a up left diagonal direction. So do an up left diagonal, place 1 on top. That's 1, and then that's 2. So that should be 3 of those 2s in a up left diagonal direction. 1, 2, and 3. Once we've done 3 of those, do another up left diagonal from the end one, just like so. We're then going to do another up left diagonal, and then place 1 on top, just like so. So we should be looking like that. Once we have done this, we're going to take out our gold block, and we're going to do 2 right diagonals from this end to here. So 1 and 2. And then we're going to take out our black concrete, and then we're going to place 2 on top of the gold block, just like so. And there we go. Once we have done that, we're going to do a up right diagonal from here, and place 1 on top, just like so. And then we're going to do 5 upright diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then place 1 to the right, just like so. Now once you've done this, we're going to take out our gold block again, and from this 2 here, we're going to place 1 gold block just on top of the end one of this 2, just like so. So we should be looking like that basically. And once we have done that, we'll take out our black concrete, and we're going to do an up left diagonal from here, just like so. We're then going to take out our gold block, and then what we're going to do from this black concrete, we're going to place 1 going to the right of it, just like so. Then take out our black concrete, and do a up right diagonal from this gold block, just like so. And then take out our gold block, and do a up right diagonal from the black concrete. And then take out our black concrete, and do an up right diagonal from here. So there we go. So basically, we're going to be going off these 3 singular black concretes that we have placed in these upright diagonal directions or so. And once we have done these though, we're going to fly to the very first one that we did. So fly to this one here first. And from this bottom one here, we're going to do a up left diagonal, just like so. And there we go. Then move on to the second line, to the middle line here. And we're going to do 3 up left diagonals from here. So 1, 2, and 3. And then move on to the next and final third line here, and do 3 up left diagonals from here as well. So 1, 2, and 3. And then there we go. That's that little part there done. So we're going to destroy all the gold blocks. So destroy these here, those there, those there, and there we go. That's everything done there so far. So I'm going to zoom out quickly. So that's like a bit of the almond shading. It's a bit more noticeable for what it's actually there for when we actually complete the rest, but if you can tell what it is, you can tell what it is. But if you can't, you'll see it at the end. Anyway though, moving back onto the build, we're going to move back to this one that we placed to the left over here, that I said we'll come back to complete the fist. So back over to here, just place a gold block just in case anyone doesn't get it. We are going off this area here. Once we are flown back to here, we are going to place another 4 going to the left from here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're then going to do a up left diagonal from here, and from this up left diagonal we are going to place 2 to the left, so 1, 2. We're then going to do a bottom left diagonal from here. From this bottom left diagonal we're going to place 1 going to the left. We're then going to fly back and to the right by 1, so back to the very first bottom left diagonal we did from this 3, so the first of this 2, and we're going to do a bottom right diagonal from here. We're then going to place 2 underneath, so 1, 2, there we go. Once we have done that, fly back over to the end of the 2, do a bottom left diagonal from here, and place 1 going to the left just like so. We're then going to fly back to the right by 1, so back to here, and do a bottom right diagonal from here. Then place 1 underneath, and there we go, that little bit there is done. So fly back to the end of the 2 again, do another bottom left diagonal from here. From this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 1 underneath, and fly up by 1, and place 1 to the left. And now we're going to fly back to the one that we placed underneath. So back to this one here. And we're going to place another 2 going underneath from here. So 1, 2. We're then going to do 2 bottom left diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. From the second one, we're going to place 1 to the left. We're then going to place a 1 underneath. Then fly back up by 1. So back into this up left corner here. And we're going to do an up left diagonal from here. Just like so. We're then going to place 1 on top. And then we're going to do 2 upright diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. And as you can see, that second upright diagonal just connects to the one sticking out to the left over here that we previously placed. So this part's going to be a bit complicated. Not so much complicated to follow. It's just there's a lot of black concrete being placed, so it might look a bit confusing for when we move over to the next areas, because we're going to be like going up, then we're going to like leave the area, come back down. So do bear in mind, make sure you are following along with this one and watching the video at the same time instead of just like listening, which I know a lot of people do differently. Because sometimes it is easy to listen, sometimes it is better to watch depending on the areas. This is an area that I would recommend watching, but if you can't listen and just know as well, then that's perfectly fine. But anyway, moving back to the one that we placed underneath here, we'll be going off here, right here, and we're going to place 1 underneath here. We're then going to place 1 going to the left from here. And I'm going to fly back into the right. Once we're flying back into the right, we're going to place 1 underneath. And fly back up by 1, so back into the center here. And place 1 to the right, just like so. Now I'm going to zoom out. So as you can see, that's like a little kind of plus sign. We're going to be going back to all these areas. So first of all, we're going to go to the one that's sticking out to the right first. Once we've flown over to this one sticking out to the right here first, we're going to do a upright diagonal from here. From this upright diagonal, we're going to do a bottom right diagonal. We're then going to place 1 underneath, just like so, from this bottom right diagonal. And there we go, that little bit there is done. We're then going to fly back up to the upright diagonal we did. So back up to here. And we're then going to do a upright diagonal from here. We're then going to place 1 to the right, just like so. And then do a bottom right diagonal. And place 1 underneath, just like so. Then fly back up to the top of this too, so back to where we did the upright diagonal and place 1 to the right, back to here, and once we are back to here, I'm going to do an upright diagonal from here. From this upright diagonal, we're going to place 3 going to the right, so 1, 2, and 3. We're then going to do another upright diagonal from here, and to place 1 going to the right, just like so. We're then going to do another upright diagonal, and to place 2 to the right this time, so 1, 2. And we're going to do a bottom right diagonal from here. From this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 2 going underneath. So 1 and 2. We're then going to take out our gold block, and we're going to place 1 to the left at the end of this tube, just like so. We're then going to take out our black concrete, and place 1 to the left, then place 1 going up, just like so. And there we go. Once we've done that, we're going to destroy that gold block, just like so. And then we're going to fly back to this 3 that's coming along to the right here. And we want to be flying back to the end one at the right, just like so. So basically where we did the bottom right diagonal from, with the 2 underneath. And once we are flying back to this point here, we're going to do another right diagonal from here. And to place 1 to the right, just like so. We're then going to do a bottom right diagonal. From this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 1 to the right. We're then going to do 5 bottom right diagonals from here. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And from this 5th one here, we're going to place 1 to the right of the end one, just like so. And once we have done that, we're going to zoom out and have a look at what we've done so far. So as you can see, the second finger is coming along. Once we have done this though, we want to be flying back over to that kind of plus area. Once we are flying back over to this plus area, we want to be flying to the very bottom one. So the bottom one going underneath, this one right here. And we're going to place another one going underneath from here. And then we're going to do 2 bottom left diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. From the second one, we're going to place 2 going to the left. So 1, 2. Then I'm going to place 1 underneath. Then fly up by 1. And place 2 on top. So 1, 2. And then do 2 upright diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. And as you see, that second upright diagonal that we did just connects to the right of this one that was sticking out to the left of that plus area. And there we go, that's that little bit there done. So as you can see, that's the very top part of the second finger done. Once we have done that though, we're going to be flying back to the one that we did place underneath over here in this area. So I'll place a gold block, we're going to be going off that one right there. And we're going to fly back in. Now once we've flown back into here, we're going to do a bottom right diagonal from here. We're then going to place one underneath, then fly back up by one, and place one going to the right, just like so. And then from this one that we placed to the right, we are going to place another two going to the right from here. So 1, 2. Then we're going to place one underneath and then fly up by one. So back into this right corner here, and we're going to do a upright diagonal from here. Now from this upright diagonal, we're going to place one going to the right. We're then going to place one on top, then fly down by one, so back to here, and place one underneath, just like so. We're then going to do a bottom right diagonal from here. Then from this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place one going underneath. Once we've done that, we're going to fly back up to the one that we placed on top in this area here. So back to this little area here. Once we've flown back to this one that we placed on top earlier on, we're going to do an upright diagonal from here. From this upright diagonal, we are going to place one going to the right. And then we're going to place two going underneath. So 1, 2. We're then going to do a bottom right diagonal from here. And then place one underneath, just like so. Once we have done that, we want to fly back to the two here where we went underneath by two at the end. So back to this right corner here. And once we are back to this right corner here, we're going to place another two going to the right. So 1, 2. We're then going to do a upright diagonal from here. And from this upright diagonal, we're going to do another upright diagonal. We're then going to place one going to the right. And then we're going to do another upright diagonal. And we're going to place three going to the right. 1, 2, and 3. We're then going to do a bottom right diagonal from here. And to place one to the right. And then do another bottom right diagonal. And to place another one to the right. Just like so. We're then going to do two bottom right diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. And then we're going to place one going to the right. And then we're going to do another two bottom right diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. From the second one, we're going to place one going to the right. We're then going to do another bottom right diagonal and place another one to the right. And there we go. As you can see, that one we placed to the right there just connects to the one going up, just like so. And now once we've done that, we are going to move back on to the next area of the build. But before we move on to the next area, we need to do a bit more in this area here that we just done. So we want to, first of all, we're going to fly off to the very 4 going along to the right here on this line. So I'm going to fly in towards this line, and we want to be going to the third one going to the right. So 1, 2, and 3, and take out your gold block and place the one underneath this one right here. We're then going to take out our black concrete, place one underneath, and then do a bottom right diagonal from here. From this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 3 going underneath, 1, 2, and 3, and take out our gold block, place one to the left, then fly back into the right and take out our black concrete and do a bottom right diagonal from here. Once we've done this, we're going to fly back up to the gold block, so back to this one that we placed to the left going here at the bottom. And with our black concrete, we are going to place one to the left of the gold block, just like so. We're then going to place 2 on top, so 1, 2, and then do an up left diagonal. And then there we go. Just destroy those gold blocks. And once again, that's the little shading for the finger done. Which is basically, as we all know, if you have a look at your finger, you can see where it bends basically. That's like these little areas there where your finger bends, and it has those kind of lines right down your finger. I don't know really what to call them, they're just lines I guess, or something like that. But once we had done that though, we want to be flying back to this area where the nail is. We want to be flying to the right one going underneath. So not this left one here, this one right here. So I'm going to fly back towards here. From here we are going to place 2 going underneath. So 1 and 2. We're then going to do a bottom left diagonal from here. And from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 2 going to the left. So 1, 2. We're then going to place 1 underneath, then fly up by 1, so back up to here, and do an up left diagonal from here, and to place 1 on top, just like so. And there we go, that's the other nail done. Now, moving on to the very final finger, and then the very last area to do, we want to be flying back to the one that we placed underneath over here, so back to this one here, And once we have flown back to this one here that we placed underneath, we're going to do a bottom right diagonal from here. And from this bottom right diagonal, I'm going to start by placing 3 going to the right. So 1, 2, and 3. We then want to place 1 underneath, and fly back up by 1. Once we've flown back up by 1, we're going to place 2 going to the right from here. So 1 and 2. We then want to place 1 on top, and place 1 to the right, then place 1 underneath. And then once we place this one underneath, we're going to place another one underneath just like so. So as you can see, it's like a 2x2 square again, with 1 going underneath the right one, just like so. Once we have done this though, we want to fly back up to the corner of this kind of 2x2 thickness over here. And once we're in this right corner, we want to do a upright diagonal from here. From this upright diagonal that we did, we want to do a bottom right diagonal. From this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 3 underneath. 1, 2, and 3. We then want to fly back up to the upright diagonal, so back up to this little sector here, where we went down by this 4 here. And once we're back to here, we want to do a upright diagonal from here. From this upright diagonal that we did, we want to place 2 to the right, so 1, 2. And then we want to place 3 going underneath from here, so 1, 2, and 3. Then fly back up to the top, so back up to this line here, and place 2 going to the right, so 1, 2. Then I'm going to take out our gold block, place 1 underneath, then take out our black concrete and place 3 underneath, 1, 2, and 3. Once we have done that, take out our gold block again, place 1 going to the right, just like so, and then take out our black concrete and place 1 to the right. I can see this 1 to the right connects in a bottom right diagonal direction to the singular bottom right diagonal here, but moving back onto this one that we placed to the right, place 2 on top, 1, 2, as you can see it's in line with that 3 there, and destroy our gold blocks. So destroy these, and flying back over to the 2 that we went to the right over here, place 3 going to the right of these 2. So 1, 2, and 3. Once we've done that, do a bottom right diagonal, and place 1 to the right, and as you can see it connects in a bottom right diagonal direction to this up left diagonal that we did earlier, which is connecting in a bottom right diagonal direction, just like so to this 2. Once we have done that though, we are going to move on to the very final part, which is completing the nail. So we want to fly back to the very end left one sticking underneath over here. So this one right here. Once we have flown back to this one here, we're going to do a bottom left diagonal from here. We're now going to place 1 underneath. We're now going to do a bottom right diagonal from here. And then we want to place 1 underneath. And as you can see it connects to this one here. But we're not done yet. Fly back up by 1. Place 2 to the right. 1, 2. Then do a upright diagonal. And then we're going to place 1 on top. Just like so. And as you can see it connects. And that is the entire hand done there. But there actually is one more little part that we do have to do before we move on to the next area, which is completing the very last part of the hand. And I think we are going to do this. I know I was going to say I was going to do the scar today, but I feel like we've already done a lot, and it's really long, and I might just have the scar in like a really small video. Which is there a point of that? Probably not too much, but oh well. I don't want to make it too long because I am still a bit slightly still ill, but moving on though from that, because I'm not terrible, but we are going to complete the next area, and we want to be flying to this area here of the finger. And what we want to do in this area of the finger, we want to fly to these lot going down over here. So I'm going to fly in, I'm going to place a gold block to the area that we are going off, because it's kind of hard to describe, but it's the second line from the top, coming along on the second finger from the top, just like so. And we're going to be going off that area there where I place the gold block. Once we have flown back to this area here, we're going to do a bottom right diagonal with our gold block from the end of this too, just like so. We're then going to place 1 underneath, and then we're going to take our black concrete and place 1 underneath the gold block, just like so. We're then going to place 1 going to the right, then do a bottom right diagonal from here, and then place 1 to the right, and then do another bottom right diagonal. And then there we go, that little area there is done. Once we have done that though, destroy these gold blocks. And then we're going to zoom out. And there we go, that's a little area there done. So yeah, I'm going to leave the scar like probably like literally just on its own. And it is going to be like a, probably like a 10-minute video of that. But it makes it easier for me because I am going on holiday as well. Because I do have to pre-record a bunch of footage. and I am still slightly ill, so I'm just going to leave it for then. But that is everything so far. We are literally, as I said, almost complete. Well, actually, we do have the face to do, so we're probably going to do the scar with the face. Yeah, that probably works out well for us. Apart from the face might be slightly long, but anyway, though, with those notes being said, that is the end of this video, because it's quite a long one. If you did enjoy this build, feel free to hit that like button and subscribe as well, and I'll see you in the next one.